Men die for causes, women die for attention. And both think the other doesn't notice. Let that sit for a second. Because that single line, it says more about men and women than 100 self-help books ever will. It's not meant to be nice. It's meant to be true. Men, your great weakness and your great strength is that you will die for something bigger than yourself. History is built on the bones of men who chose a cause over their own survival. Hell, nations exist because of it. Wars are fought because of it. Entire generations of men vanished into trenches, jungles, and deserts because they believed in something enough to risk death. And women? Well, their battlefield is different. Women die for attention. They will wreck their bodies with surgery. They will destroy their dignity with desperate performances. And they will torch their reputations online. All for the illusion of being seen, remembered, and adored. The male drive is sacrifice. The female drive is recognition. Both are forms of immortality. Both are equally dangerous. And both are rarely understood by the opposite sex. If you've ever wondered why men will run into burning buildings and volunteer for wars and work themselves into early graves, it's not just about providing. It's about mattering. A man who has no cause is a man already halfway in the grave. That's why men join armies, gangs, corporations, and religions. They need something to pour themselves into. They need that. They need a hill to die on. Because deep down, men know that their worth isn't measured in comfort. It isn't. It's measured in conquest and contribution. That's what it's measured in. But here's the dark side. Men don't always choose noble causes. A man might die for his country, but he might also die for his gang colors. A man might sacrifice everything for his family, or he might sacrifice everything for a corporation that never even knew his name. The tragedy of man is not that he dies for causes. It's that sometimes he dies for the wrong ones. And women's relationship with attention is just as intense. Where men sacrifice their lives for a mission, women sacrifice their lives for eyes, the eyes of others, the acknowledgement that they exist, that they matter, and that they are wanted. It's why the average woman's self-worth rises and falls with how she looks in a selfie. It's why entire industries from cosmetics to OF exist and thrive. It's not just because women are shallow, it's because recognition is survival for them. In the past, a woman invisible to men meant no protection, no provision, no survival whatsoever. Now today, the stakes have shifted, but the psychology hasn't. Attention is currency, and women will bankrupt themselves chasing it. And just like men, women often die for the wrong attention. They'll chase validation from men who don't love them, from strangers on social media who do not care about them, and from a public that cheers them today and then mocks them tomorrow. Women don't always die for noble recognition. They die for shallow attention. And here's where it gets interesting. Men think women don't notice the sacrifices they make. And women think that men don't notice the attention that they crave. But both are wrong. Men see women's thirst for attention. They just pretend not to because calling it out kills the illusion. And Women see men's need for causes. They just pretend not to, because acknowledging it would mean admitting how much society depends on male sacrifice. So men accuse women of vanity and women accuse men of stupidity. But at the end of the day, both are just pointing out the shadow side of each other's survival strategy. This is why men and women clash so much today. Men are tired of dying for causes that they no longer believe in. They see every day society just mocking them for working and fighting and providing, and so they're opting out. They're deciding to protect their peace and just walk away. And women, on the other hand, are drowning in attention, but starving for meaning. They've got likes, followers, and comments, but none of it fills the void. They're visible to the world, sure, but invisible where it matters. That's why you see so many women miserable, despite being praised, adored, and noticed. Men without causes become empty. Women without meaningful attention become hollow. And together, they form a generation where neither sex is fulfilled, and both blame each other for it. This perspective stings because it strips away the illusions. Men want to believe that they're rational, and women want to believe that they're deep. But the truth is simpler and therefore harsher. Men are willing to die for something. Women are willing to die to be seen. And neither one is inherently better, but both are tragic if they're not channeled well. And if you're a man listening to this, here's the lesson. Choose your cause wisely. Don't die for a company that doesn't know your name. Don't bleed out your years for a woman who doesn't respect you. Don't sacrifice your body for a society that hates you. If you're going to give yourself to a cause, make it something that will matter when you're gone. Your peace, your mission, your legacy, that's worth dying for. And if you're a woman listening, here's your side. Attention is not the same thing as love. Recognition is not the same as respect. Being seen isn't the same as being valued. Do not mistake eyeballs for devotion. Don't bankrupt your dignity for clout. Because the attention you crave is fleeting. And the way that you get it might be the very thing that destroys you. Men and women were never meant to compete with each other. They were meant to complement each other with their different strengths and their different drives, working together to build something bigger than either could alone. Men bring the mission, women bring the support and the recognition. That balance is what makes families, legacies, and civilizations possible. But in today's West, in today's Western society, that balance has been sabotaged. Women aren't trained to complement men anymore. They're trained to compete with them, to treat men like rivals instead of partners and leaders. They're trained to see collaboration as weakness instead of strength. So, what would be redemption has become dysfunction. Men are still dying for causes, and women are still dying for attention. But instead of using those drives to build with each other, they're tearing each other down. And that's why everything feels broken. So yes, men die for causes, women die for attention. Both think the other doesn't notice. And the tragedy isn't that they're wrong, it's that they're right. And until that changes, nothing else will.